Hello, my name is Michelle, and today my friends and I are going to introduce the story and culture of the United States. This will be very exciting. Just sit back and enjoy this historical journey. Let's start with a summary of this story. Author Julie Ford, 1778, is marked as the day the United States was born. The territory that became independent from British was much smaller than the country you know today. There were 13 colonies that had the United Kingdom on the east coast of North America, and from north south were Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. They were founded in the 17th and 18th centuries by British colonies and had very similar legal, constitutional, and political systems. They were part of the Great Britain's New World territories, which also had the colonies in the present-day Canada and the Caribbean as well in eastern and western Florida. During the 18th century, the central government administered the properties in the colonies for the benefit of metropolis from a mercantilist approach. Another than 13 colonies enjoyed high degree of autonomy, held local elections, and beginning in 1718 began to collaborate with another, cultivating and shared by identity. This due to basic trigger years after the Revolution and the independence movement.
Today we are going to learn about the territory of the United States and some information about the invention and expansion of the country. United States of America is commonly known as United States or simply America. This country is located in North America. It consists of 50 states, a federal district, 5 major unincorporated territories, and 9 islands. It is the world's fourth-largest country by land area and the third-largest by total area. It is bordered by the Atlantic Ocean in the east and the Pacific Ocean in the west. The country borders Canada in the north and Mexico in the south. The United States shares maritime borders with the Bahamas, Cuba, and Russia and Alaska. How much do you know about the invasion to this country? Did you know Europeans colonized Americans first? European nations came to the Americans to increase their wealth and broaden the influence over world affairs. The Spanish were among the first Europeans to explore the New World and the first to settle in what is now the United States. Afterwards, how was America colonized by the British? In 1606, King James I of England granted a charter to the Virginia Company of London to colonize the American coast anywhere. In 1607, the Virginia Company crossed the ocean and established Jamestown. And what about the 13 colonies? While England was also motivated by the route by sea and the riches of the New World, the country had different reasons for colonizing. Freedom of faith was a big motivation for the English. In 1620, a group of settlers left England to seek the New World. Over the next century, the English established 13 colonies. They were Virginia, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Now, what about the westward expansion? Did you know Thomas Jefferson negotiated a treaty with France, in which the United States paid France $15 million for the Louisiana Territory, 828,000 square miles of land west of the Mississippi River, doubling the effectively size of the young nation. But why did the United States expand west in the 1840s? The belief that settlers were destined to expand to the west is often referred to as manifest destiny. Manifest destiny was used to justify the war with Mexico in the 1840s, which resulted in the acquisition of 1 million square miles of land previously owned by Mexico, enlarging the United States even more. Thousands of people crossed the Rockies to the Oregon Territory, which belonged to the Great Britain, and thousands more moved into the Mexican territories of California, New Mexico, and Texas. To finish this, did you know United States have a base at Cuba? Yes, and it's called the Guantanamo Bay. The opportunity to create such a naval presence in the Caribbean came when the United States invaded Cuba, then a Spanish colony in the summer of 1898. The Spanish-American War enabled the United States to establish the permanent military base at Guantanamo. Catch you later! Hope you enjoy it and learn new things about this country.
Federal government, legislative, executive, and judicial. Population 334,559,397 as of Tuesday 4 May 2022. The population growth in the U.S. is mainly attributed to high notes of immigration which have decreased since 2016. Growth rate 0.57%. Passport visa. A citizen for a foreign country who seeks to enter the U.S. visa, which is placed in the traveler's passport, a traveler's document issued by the traveler's country of citizenship. Culture. American culture encompasses the costumes and traditions of the United States. Culture encompasses religion, food, what we wear, how we wear it, our language, marriage, music, what we believe is right or wrong, how we sat at the table, how we greet visitors, how we behave with loved ones, and a million things, said Cristina de Rossi. National Anthem. The Star-Spangled Anthem is the banner. Is the national anthem of United States. The lyrics come from the Defense of Fort McHenry, a poem written September 14, 1814 by 35 years old lawyer and amateur poet Francis Scott Key. Official language. The United States has no official language. English is spoken by overwhelming majority of Americans. Flag. National flag consists of white stars, 50 of July 4, 1960, on a blue cartoon with a frill of 13 alternating stripes, 7 red and 6 white. The 50 stars stand for the 50 states, origin 13 states. The 13. The flag with no length radio is 10 to 19. Currency. American paper currency comes in 7 denominations: $1, $2, $5, $10, $20, $50, and $100. To be U.S. no longer issues bills in larger denomination as $500, $1,000, $5,000, and $10,000 bills, but there is still legal tender and may still circulation.
Flag and the currency. So let's get started. The United States flag is one of the most iconic symbols in the planet. We all know how it looks like. A blue rectangle in the left side with 50 stars in it. And outside of it we have 13 lines that swap between the red and white color. Now, explain it. The 50 stars represent the 50 states the United States has, and the 13 lines represent the 13 original colonies that got independent from the UK, creating the United States. But the flag wasn't always like this. It had a lot of changes between the first version and the actual version, so let's cover them all. The first flag of the United States got officialized on the 14th of June in 1777 by the Second Continental Congress. Actually, the 14th of June is the day of the flag in the USA. This one was like the actual one, but with some small changes. The monoline lines and their distribution were the same, the colors were the same, the blue square was the same, but the amount of stars was 13, and they were accommodated in a circular form. There were 13 because of the 13 colonies. Then they ordered 2 more lines and stars in 1795. From now on, the positioning of the stars was in lines. And in 1818, the 2 lines that were added were eliminated. And from now on, the amount of lines didn't change at any moment. This was because they wanted to commemorate the 13 colonies. After that, all the changes that the flag had were the amount of stars and their distribution. The amount of stars that were added depended on the amount of new states that joined the United States. And the actual version with 50 stars was created in 1959, adding the states of Alaska and Hawaii. Now that we have finished talking about the flag, let's talk about the currency. The currency in the United States is the overrated United States dollar, which is worth 20.22 Mexican pesos, and it got created after the U.S. Constitution was ratified. Congress passed the Mint Act of April 2, 1792, which established the coinage system of the United States and the dollar as the principal unit of currency. A lot of boring stuff. There are 7 types of dollars, every one with different value. The lowest one is worth $1, the almost lowest one is worth $2, the another one is worth $5, the middle one is worth $10, the almost middle high one is worth $20, the almost highest one is worth $50, and the highest one is worth $100, which is worth 2,022.44 Mexican pesos. That's a lot. And they've got coins too, which are penny, which is worth 1 cent, nickel, which is worth 5 cents, dime, which is worth 10 cents, quarter, which is worth 25 cents, and dollar coin, which is worth 100 cents. Oh, and I forgot to mention that a dollar is worth 100 cents, and a cent is worth 0.20 Mexican pesos, a fifth of a peso.
Let's talk about USA typical food. First of all, we are going to talk about hamburger. The origin of the hamburger is not very clear, but the prevailing history is at the end of the 1,800 years, European immigrants reached America on the ships on Hamburg lines. Then we continue with clam chowder. According to Savory Gotham, it is believed that the New England style of chowder was introduced by French. British became a common dish at 1700 years, and in these years was served in Boston. And the last one is mac and cheese. The exact origin of the mac and cheese is unknown, though most likely hails from Northam in 1769. A state of Americans make better this recipe.
Let's talk about typical clothes in the USA. One of the most typical clothing in the USA is the cowboy suit that became very famous in the southern part of the USA. We will explain each thing in detail that the cowboy suit wears. Cowboy hat. The cowboy hat is a tall crowned hat with a wide brim, known as the defining piece of American cowboy attire. Western shirt. On both the front and the back of a conventional Western dress shirt, you'll find style jokes. Modern versions feature snap pockets, bandana patches, and fringe. It has cambray, denim, or tartan cloth with long sleeves. Bandana. The square-shaped garment used by women and men to cover their head or is aesthetically tied around the neck is known. These handkerchiefs can adopt the most colorful designs, constituting a traditional gift item. Boots. Of these, we can say that they were originally created to be able to work in agricultural livestock stacks. However, over time, they began to become fashionable and have a common footwear more than anything in the south and west of the USA. Origin of the cowboy suit. The origin of the cowboy suit is very famous in the USA and is also considered a typical costume of Mexico. And this is because before Mexico gave up a part of its territory, these were typical customs of Mexico, but they became the USA, and that is why that which became famous in the south and west of the USA. Cowgirl outfit. The cowgirl outfit consists of a skirt or jeans or pants according to taste, and they can also wear a long-sleeved shirt or a western-style blouse, and of course boots and a cowboy hat. Also sometimes it only consists of a dress and a denim vest, boots and hat. Also another is like a type of denim blouse, denim skirt, boots and hat. The cowgirl outfit can vary a lot. This because there are thousands of options putting together all the cowboy clothes that exist.
Fun facts about the USA. Do you know something about it? The United States is the third largest country in the world. Hollywood, the film industry, is the largest, oldest, and most profitable film industry in the world. The United States was the first nation to use the title of president for its head of state. Americans love dogs. The current iteration of the American flag was designed by a high school student. 3 out of every 4 tornadoes in the world occur in the United States. They have the world's strongest higher school system. The national sport of USA is the basketball. William Carey Smith, most known as Will Smith, is an American actor, comedian, rapper, film producer, and record producer who was born in 1968, Pennsylvania. Everyone travels to the USA to appreciate their amazing buildings they've made and their amazing cities like New York. Another famous person in USA is Michael Jordan. He was the best player in basketball and he is 1.98 meters tall. Detroit is the most dangerous city in USA. The Pentagon is the biggest office tower in the world. The main countries of origin of immigration in the United States are Mexico, China, and India. Nirvana was an American grunge band from Aberdeen, Washington, founded by vocalist and guitarist Kurt Cobain and bassist Chris Novoselic in 1987.
Canada is the second largest nation on Earth with approximately 2 million lakes. Contains over 50% of the freshwater lakes on the planet. For many thousands of years, this region was populated with many indigenous tribes. Hardy people capable of overcoming the severe and lengthy winters, thriving and developing unique cultures.
The few native people to settle in Canada and the New World in general that we know of for sure were the kings that would have settlement in Newfoundland around 1000 AD. It is unclear for exactly how long settlement was occupied. If there was more, but ultimately it was either abandoned, pillaged, or its inhabitants succumbed to disease or assimilated into the local population.
But serious, about nearly 500 years later, in 1497, the Italian explorer Giovanni Canada was the first European to explore North America's coast claiming for the English crown. Shortly after, the Spanish and the Portuguese would do the same but remain uncle for only a few seasons until the French arrived. French give this territory the name of Canada.
We will talk about the map of Canada. We will cover the location and territory, the distribution, the history, and the borders. Since Canada borders were formed, it was only lost significant territory in the border dispute over Newfoundland's rule over Labrador, which was later joined by Canada as the 10th province. The provinces of Canada are Yukon, Northwest Territories, Nunavut, British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, and Quebec. Canada is located in the upper part of North America, above the United States. To the west is the border by the Pacific Ocean, and to the east by the Atlantic Ocean. The United States borders to the south and the Arctic Ocean.
In its broad sense, Canadian culture is a mixture of British, French, and American influences, all of which blend and sometimes compete in every aspect of cultural life, from filmmaking and writing to cooking and playing sports. Other people have added distinctive elements to this mixture. It's a bilingual country. However, it's important to note that the entire country does not speak French. There are totally Anglo Saxon regions. On July 7, 1969, the official language of Canada Act was enacted in Canada, whereby the country officially has two languages, English and French. This makes Canada one of the few bilingual countries. There are about 17 million Anglo-Saxons and 6 million Francophone people. Canada is a federal parliamentary monarchy governed by the Principles of Constitution Act of 1982. The country has a federal system whose powers are divided between the central and provincial governments. Canada may prefer a country with a significant number of inhabitants, if we compare it with the rest of the countries, since it occupies the 38th position in the ranking of 196 states that make up the world population table. 21% of Canada's population are immigrants, according to the latest immigration data published by the UN. Canada is the national anthem of Canada. This hymn was originally commissioned in 1880 by the Lieutenant Governor of Quebec, Theodore Robillate, for the National Day French-Canadian ceremony. To enter Canada, Mexican citizens need viable passports and an ETA permit or one of the Canadians' visas. Nationals of Mexico are exempt from Canadians' visa to travel to the country for short stays.
Hi everyone, today I'm talking about Canada, especially the flag evolution. Well, first we have the flag of France in the time of Jacques Cartier, since 1534 to 1599. Then we have the flag used by Champlain and other French sailors since 1600 to 1663. The flag of France since 1663 to 1763. Then we have the flag of the Kingdom of Great Britain since 1763 to 1800. Then the flag of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland since 1801. This is the flag used from 1868 to 1921. Next to that we have this one, flag used from 1921 to 1957. This is the 1957 version of the Canadian Red Ensign, used as a national flag until 1965. This is the first flag proposed by a parliament nicknamed Person's Flag. This is the flag of the Royal Military College at George Stanley was inspired to create the current flag. This is the first version of the flag proposed in 1964. And for finish, this is the current official flag since 1965. This version has two colors, that it's white and red. The white color refers to the French royal emblem, used in the reign of Charles VII, and the red color of the flag refers to the cross of St. George, which was an emblem of the first flag that flew in Canada. In the center of the flag we have a maple leaf, with 11 red tips on a white background that adorns the center. This drawing refers to the nature and the flora of the country.
The gastronomy of Canada is a set of customs that correspond to the usual Canada cuisine. It's diverse and tasty, from bison, elk, beef to freshwater fish, seafood such as barrel, shrimp, and snow crab. It has a lot of influence from American English or French cuisine. During the 19th and 12th centuries, increasing immigration to Canada brought with it an enormous variety of recipes and traditions from the immigrants' home nations. Each region has its own traditions and food. Turkey meat pie with Quebec. Maple syrup is extracted from the aloe de maple tree. Calgary beef hash, marinated meat with a side of beans. Bannock, Indian-style bread. Bagels, a French-style bread which is actually of Polish origin. One more proof of the mixture of cultures. The most popular dishes are the pudding, the tortilla, the cipolle, and the smoked meat. States with different dishes: Alberta, Ontario, Quebec, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Atlantic area.
Typical clothing. Canada does not have a traditional or national dress, as such, in the northern regions or frankly anywhere. It gets cold. Canadians wear parkas, long johns, toques, scarves, earmuffs, and various jackets that can be made without lining or leather. How does the economy influence your clothes? Canada is home to a large apparel market and some of the most popular apparel brands. Canadian apparel manufacturers are becoming increasingly export-oriented to capitalize on international demand. Consumer demand for apparel, both domestically and international, is apparent as both total exports and total imports rose steadily over the 2016 to 2019. Canada has Disney fashion culture centered around its largest fashion hubs in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. The economic data shows that this domestic manufacturing sector has stabilized following a downsize that was felt strongest in the 1990s but is not growing again. Canada's uniform is a hallmark of this country and has a historical background. Highly appreciated by its inhabitants since it has not only been for many years, it also had its moment of during the Old War. In North Canada, women wear skin suits, but with a feminine touch. They use different animal skins like caribou, bear, fox, wolves, etc. The jacket and hot cups are made with bear and wolf hairs. Footwear is animal leather. The woman has her hair collected and covers it with a black or white hat. What were the clothes like? Each tribe has different variations, rectangular sheets and bean clothes. They also used to wear long leather pants or short skins. Men didn't wear sheets in summer, they only wore them in times of war. What express the type of typical costume? Express cultural identity and usually varies according to sex, age, social status, material status, and economic situation.
Fun facts: Canada. Did you know that? Canada is a monarchy. There are two official languages in Canada. Canada is the world's second largest country. Canada has the longest coastline in the world. Canada also has the longest international border. The word Canada is derived from an indigenous word. The French and British weren't the first Europeans to colonize Canada. The next person to claim Canada has an Italian working for the English. There was a war in Canada called the Beaver Wars. Canada's national animal is actually a beaver. There are a lot of famous Canadians living in the US. The coldest ever recorded temperature in Canada is a -63. Quebec is the only walled city in the North America. Canada has a different Thanksgiving to the United States. Canada has one of the highest immigration rates in the world. There's more to language in Canada than English and French. The Northwest Territories consist 11 official languages, minus its lakes. Canada will only be the fourth largest country in the world. Canadians love mac and cheese. Lacrosse is the national sport of Canada. Canada only officially became independent from Britain in 1982. Canada Day celebrates semi-independence from Britain in 1867. One of the longest highways in the world is in Canada. The maple leaf has been a symbol of Canada for a long time. Toronto has the world's biggest underground shopping complex. Canada has some super grand hotels. You all find the world's oldest pool of the water in a Canadian mine. Winnie the Pooh has named after a bird from Canada. The most powerful part of Niagara Falls is in Canada.